This is GaryDoug. I'm doing a Home Depot review of the LG clothes dryer, model number DLEX5000V. And here we are at the front panel. I haven't turned it on yet. I guess somewhere along the line here I'm gonna, let's see, we're opening the door. And I gotta move my tripod back out of the way because the camera's in the way and I can't open the door all the way. There we go. Yep, not far enough. A little more. And I guess I'm going to get, oh, there they are, now it's open. I'm taking my clothes out of the washing machine, which is next to it. That's also a new LG washing machine, but you won't see it in this video. It's mostly bedding, sheets, blanket, pillowcases. This is from a double-sized bed. A couple little towels. Close the door, and I gotta have to move that camera back so we can see the front panel a little bit more clearly. And I'm turning it on. Just one little tap there on the on-off button. As a matter of fact, you don't even really have to push it. You just have to put your finger there. I'm rotating the selector dial. I'm selecting bedding. This is what you call a preset. Each time you put it at one of those positions, it'll preset the settings for you. Now what I'm doing is manually overriding. I'm going and setting the time right now. How long? That's 40 minutes. And I'm going to set it to probably just somewhat warm, somewhat hot. I'm going to leave it there for now. Now I bumped down the time a little bit, down to 38 minutes. That's just showing you that you can actually fine-tune the time if you want. And I'm going to press start, and it's running, and I'm pressing the drum light button there to turn on the drum light so we can see what's going on. Otherwise it looks really boring. Here I've decided to bump up the time a little bit. Maybe 38 wasn't enough, so I moved it up to 45. And I'm doing that on the fly. Some of these things you can change on the fly, and some of these things you have to pause it first. So now it's left at 45 minutes. And you can see when I did that, all of the selection went away, because as soon as you change a setting here, you're no longer using the presets, so it turns off the pointer there that was originally pointing toward bedding. So you won't see that. If you move the selector dial knob again, you'll go back to the presets. So it'll highlight whatever you're pointing to, and the presets will come back. So you lose all your manual settings. So don't bump into that. You have to start over again. And there I go out the door. I'm going to wait for it to dry. Now you may notice there's a little triangular shaped symbol there to the left of that 44, and underneath the flashing dry lamp that turns on and off. That thing, they're on now, and it'll probably turn off soon. That's the Wi-Fi indicator. And this dryer is sitting inside of an aluminum shed. So the metal is probably blocking somewhat the dryer signal. It's about 20 to 25 feet away from the router, so that's probably close enough, but I notice that if I leave the door open, I don't have any trouble with it. So if you have problems with that, see the light just went out again. If you have problems with that, it could be your signal's too weak to get to the router. I'm going to see if I can come up with a plan to put some vinyl on the outside of this door instead of the aluminum that's there. And while we're talking about Wi-Fi, I'm really disappointed in the application for smartphones and tablets that came with this. this appliance, it's really disappointing. I had nothing but trouble trying to set it up, and it turns out that if you have NFC capability on your phone, you're okay. But if you don't have NFC capability on your phone, the application crashes while you're trying to register the products. So you can't get any farther than that, and it doesn't work. Even though this product does not use NFC, it only uses Wi-Fi. So that's a clear bug in their program. I don't know how to resolve that, except that what I did, I purchased a used phone somewhere cheap that had the NFC capability for it. It was able to go completely through the setup and register the products, and it works fine. Well, fine within the limits of this application anyway. And now my phone works fine. My original phone works fine. Apparently, once you have your products registered, you don't have to go through that on each phone. It's done forever, or at least until it requires it again. So if it doesn't work for you, you can borrow a phone that somebody else has and see if it'll work to register the products. And once you do that, you're cool. Another thing too, the notifications that come through, they're good. They're timely. One thing I've noticed though, and I don't know if it's a limit of my phone or just a limit of Android, but the notifications come on and they override the screensaver feature, the lock screen feature. And the light just went out there on the you got a 4-minute timeout on that drum light. Anyway, the notifications appear and they don't go away unless you press the OK button. So if you don't press the OK button, your screen stays on and runs your battery down. Now that's, it won't run it down if you've got it on the charger at the time, but if it gets laying around on your coffee table or something and you don't notice it, and worse yet, maybe you're going out shopping or something, well, you wouldn't do that without your phone probably, but you get the idea that it seems like sort of a bug. It seems like your lock screen should come along and dim the screen to save you some power, but it doesn't. I'm not sure who to blame on that, LG or the Android people. Anyway. I didn't mention this earlier, but I guess I did sort of, but with your presets there on the left on that dial get overridden when you change something manually on the right side of your panel. So you really don't have to turn that dial down to manual dry. As soon as you start bumping around the controls, especially at the dry time, it'll override that and put you into manual mode. So I don't really need that. There's a button on the right side panel there called Custom Program. It's Custom PGM. If you've got something in there, some setup that you want to keep saving over and over again, but that's not matching one of the presets on the dial on the left, you can save that as a custom program, and that way you can go straight to it each time instead of manually setting it up. So that's a time saver. Unfortunately, it only allows you to save one program. The signal selection there, going off, low, and high on the right lower part of the right panel, it doesn't really give you very much sound. I've got it set on high all the time, and to be honest, you can't really hear that squeaky little signal, that little tune it plays if you're out of the room, so that's kind of disappointing. Just showing you what it looks like when it's, I got 27 minutes left, and then I go out the door again a bit later. Hear that wimpy little tone that signifies the end? That's way not loud enough. Way too wimpy. Seems like a lot of work to go through to clean a filter.